குட் ஆஃப்டர்நூன் சார். சார் வாய்ஸ் கேக்குதுங்களா? No, good afternoon to all. No, good afternoon to all. Today we are going to see microbes in human welfare. So first we have to see what are microbes. Microbes are any it is the microscopic size will be there. So microbes we can't see with the naked eye. With the help of the microscope only we can see. In that microbes mostly they will be harmful and also useful. Whatever we take a thing, it has an advantage and a disadvantage, isn't it? Like that, microorganisms also have advantages and also disadvantages to human welfare, human beings. So in this chapter, we are concerned only with the useful microorganisms. So what are the useful microorganisms? In the sense, we are dividing these into 6 parts. That is 6 applications of microorganisms in human welfare. We are dividing it into 6 broad classifications. That is first one is microbes in household products. Microbes in household products, and microbes in industrial products, then use of microbes in sewage treatment, and microbes in production of biogas, microbes as a biocontrol agents, and finally the microbes as biofertilizers. So first we are seeing the how the microorganisms are used in our day-to-day life. இந்த டெய்லி லைஃப்ல வந்து மைக்ரோ ஆர்கானிசம்ஸ் வந்து யூஸ் ஆகுது. அதாவது நம்ம ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்டு ப்ராடக்ட்ஸாகவே வந்து மைக்ரோ ஆர்கானிசம்ஸ் நம்மளுக்கு கொடுக்குது. அது என்னென்ன அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து இதுல மெஜாரிட்டி ஆஃப் பாக்டீரியா, எந்த பாக்டீரியா இதுல வந்து ரொம்ப அதிகமா காணப்படுதுன்னா லாக்டோபாசிலஸ். Lactobacillus plays a very important role in the curd, that is in the formation of curd from milk. Okay. So we are adding the starter culture of curd into the milk, and this lactic acid bacteria coagulates the milk and it forms the curd finally. So here this curd is very rich in vitamin B12, and also the product that is formed by this lactobacillus is very important, very nutritious, and also it checks the stomach diseases, stomach related problems. And then this process, the main what is the thing that happens here in Batamnaka? Fermentation. the fermentation, not only in the formation of curd and also idli dosa batter and all gets fermented by bacteria. And in the case of bread dough, bread உடைய மாவு வந்து fermented by yeast, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. And also another one example, toddy. Toddy is another one example for fermentation in our day-to-day life household, that is microbes in household products, that is toddy na kal, fermented sap from plants, okay, from palm trees. The next one is the cheese. What is the cheese? It is also one of the dairy products. So in order to make it ripen, in order to make it more flavorable, we are adding the that is the fungi. Fungi makes it ripens. Example is the Roquefort cheese, and also large holes in the Swiss cheese is due to the bacterium Propionobacter shermani. Okay, so these are the various examples for microbes in household products. And now first one, the lactobacillus, the formation of curd. The next one is fermentation of dough and idli dosa batter. And the next one, cheese. Okay, and another one is toddy. That is a liquid, fermented liquid that is got from the sap of plants, mainly from palm trees. Are you clear up to this? Let me try one more time whether my PDF gets shared. Microsoft OneDrive, it is not there. This PDF is in the document part. So I was searching in another folder. Okay, students. So now we are first we saw microbes in human welfare. In the first one, we saw the microbes in household products. So lactobacillus is the primary household microorganism that is mainly used for the convert the milk into curd. Okay. So next one, fermentation process is carried out by some of the bacteria and also yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. In the case of idli batter and dosa batter, for the fermentation is due to bacteria. In the case of bread dough, it is due to the fermentation is due to the presence of, it is carried out by Saccharomyces cerevisiae yeast. Then coming to next one, that is the toddy. Toddy in the sense it is a fermented sap from plants, many palm trees. So it is it is locally used as a as a beverage. Okay, so கல் சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, so அது next வந்து cheese வந்து it is also it is ripened by the process of it is ripened by the action of fungi. Roquefort cheese example, and also Swiss cheese. Then coming to the microbes in industrial products, how they are used in industrial products. This is the main thing, that is what to say, the main importance of microbes in production of various products we are saying. So what are the various products in the sense, mainly in the production of antibiotics, vaccines, and also from mainly various chemicals, enzymes and all. Well, how they are produced industrially, or how, what are the products that are mostly produced with the help of microbes. One is, we can broadly classify them as fermented beverages and antibiotics. Okay, so in this fermented beverages or production of ethanol with the help of brewer's yeast. The baker's yeast, brewer's yeast are the same, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay, wine and beer are produced without distillation. Distillation process is the what to say, it is the combination of evaporation and condensation. First evaporated and the droplets are condensed, again they are collected. Okay, so here in the case of wine and beer, without distillation, wine and beer are produced by the fermentation action of brewer's yeast. But in the case of whiskey, rum and brandy and all, it is produced, they are produced with distillation. Distillation process is necessary in order to increase the concentration of alcohol. Then the next one is antibiotics. Antibiotics in the sense, these are the chemicals produced by microorganisms, by one microorganism that kills another microorganism. Okay, so ஒரு microorganismல இருந்து ஒரு chemical substance வந்து produce ஆகுது எக்ஸ்ட்ரா செல்லுலரா. ஸோ அது வந்து என்ன ஆகுதுனாக்கா இன்னொரு மைக்ரோ ஆர்கானிசத்துக்கு அது அகெயின்ஸ்டா இருக்கு, அதை வந்து கில் பண்ணிடும் அந்த கெமிக்கல். This chemical was the chemical which was first discovered was penicillin. This chemical is called as penicillin, and it is an antibiotic against Staphylococcus aureus. Okay, so it has a wide range of, now it has a wide range of spectrum of that is, it has used as a antibiotic for various diseases. And it was first discovered by Fleming and Chain and Florey. They used this as a antibiotic for victims in World War II. So here they were, because of this contribution, Nobel Prize was given to them in 1945. So penicillin, this is the main antibiotic, first antibiotic produced. Following this, various antibiotics are nowadays produced. Let's say, for example, vancomycin, erythromycin, then cephalosporin, tetracycline, etc. Then coming to the, what are the chemicals, enzymes, and other bioactive molecules that are produced using microorganisms. Then ethanol, citric acid, acetic acid, butyric acid, lactic acid, and all these are some of the chemicals that are produced. So ethanol is produced by yeast, and citric acid is produced by a fungi, Aspergillus niger. Then acetic acid, butyric acid, and the lactic acid and all are the products of the these are the products produced by bacteria. That is, Acetobacter aceti produces acetic acid. Clostridium botulicum produces citric acid, and Lactobacillus species produces lactic acid. Okay, so then coming to the enzymes. Enzymes are very important for the metabolism, for the whole metabolism of living organisms. What is the function of these enzymes normally? Either in vivo or in vitro, whatever it is, what is the function? It changes, it catalyzes, the hastens the chemical reaction. That is, when a product is formed from one substrate, with the action of with the help of enzymes, that chemical reaction gets fastened. That chemical reaction is catalyzed. So hence they are also called as, enzymes are also called as biocatalysts. So mainly the industrial enzymes that are produced are lipase, pectinase, protease, streptokinase. Okay, so these enzymes are some of the examples that are produced industrially. Lipase enzyme is used for removing oil stains. They are used in the detergent powders. Okay, so next, pectinase and protease enzymes, they are used in bottled fruit juices. They are used for the making of bottled fruit juices. And in this case, amylase also can be added. Then in the case of streptokinase, it is the clot remover in blood vessels. Streptokinase in the blood vessels உருவாகிற blood clots remove பண்றதுக்கு help ஆகும். Then Trichoderma polysporum. Trichoderma polysporum is one of a fungi. It produces cyclosporin A. It is an immunosuppressant drug that is used in the case of transplantation. Transplantation அப்போ நம்மளுடைய immunity வந்து அந்த நம்ம டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் பண்ற அந்த சப்ஸ்டன்ஸ்க்கு அகைன்ஸ்டா வந்து ஆன்டிபாடிஸோ இல்லைன்னா டி செல்ஸோ ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணாம இருக்கிறதுக்காக இம்யூனோசப்ரசன்ட் ட்ரக்ஸ் வந்து கொடுத்துட்டு தான் டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ ஒன் ஆஃப் த இம்யூனோசப்ரசன்ட் ட்ரக்ஸ் என்னன்னு பார்த்தோம்னா சைக்ளோஸ்போரின் ஏ. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் ஆல்சோ அ ப்ராடக்ட் ஆஃப் microbe only. So Monascus purpureus, that is one of the yeast species, produces statins. Statins or a chemical. So what is that? What is the use of that statin? It is a blood cholesterol lowering agent. So it is a blood cholesterol level கம்மி பண்ற agent. Another statins. It is produced by Monascus purpureus. So these are the various examples of the industrial products that are produced with the help of microorganisms. What are they? Fermented beverages, antibiotics, chemicals, enzymes, and other bioactive agents. Then coming to major microbes in sewage treatment. Sewage is nothing but municipal wastewater. Okay, so sewage, what are the கழிவுகள் எல்லாம் டிச்சில போகிறது எல்லாமே வந்து sewage தான். So the main component in the wastewater, that is in the sewage, is human excreta. So without any treatment, if we let the sewage into the water bodies, it will pollute. It will get polluted. So due to this, the various diseases will be caused, because these water bodies will be used by human beings for drinking purpose, for washing purpose, for bathing, etc. What are the things, whatever the household purposes, these water bodies are used. If this sewage is mixed with the pure water bodies, it will get impure, polluted. So it leads to various various diseases or infections. So in order to avoid that, there is a step. The municipality has taken the steps for treating the wastewater. It may be it is broadly divided as two main steps: primary treatment and secondary treatment. After this treatment only, the purified in the sense treated effluent only is let into the water bodies. Okay, so primary treatment. So what is this primary treatment? It is the physical removal of particles. Physically it is removed, not adding any chemical and all. Physical removal in the sense filtration, sedimentation and all. So filtration, using filtration, floating debris and all, first they are removed. Then in the case of high density particles, soil and pebbles are removed. That is, those are called as grit. They are removed by sedimentation process. Okay, so the primary sludge, it results in the primary sludge. This is called, all solids that settle are called as primary sludge, and the effluent, that is a supernatant, that is the remaining part, water part, liquid part, is called as the effluent. This effluent is undergone through secondary treatment, and after that it is let it in the outer, that is it is let into the water bodies. So what is the secondary treatment? In the secondary treatment, effluent is passed into large aeration tanks. Large aeration tanks. So this aeration tanks, in the sense, they have agitators and it provides oxygen. Air is pumped throughout into this aeration tanks continuously, so that growth of aerobic microbes occurs there, takes place there. Once again, okay, students. So secondary treatment of is regarding the effluent. So this effluent is subjected to various processes, and then it is let out. So first we are seeing this. The effluent is passed into large aeration tank with agitation, with continuous agitation, and air is forced pumped into it continuously into these tanks. So what is the purpose of this air? It provides dissolved oxygen to the microorganisms, aerobic microorganisms. So it increases the growth of aerobic microbes. So this mass of bacterial culture and fungal filament is called as flocks. That is grown over the effluent. Okay, so mesh-like network, mesh-like network ஒரு sieve மாதிரி ஜல்லடை மாதிரி வந்து mesh like network மாதிரி இந்த flocks produce ஆயிருக்கும். Flocks are nothing but the mass of bacterial colonies and fungal mycelia filaments. Then what happens to this effluent? Now this BOD is decreased in the effluent. How? By the usage of that is consumption of oxygen from the effluent by these microorganisms for their growth and development. So BOD is reduced. This is the amount of oxygen consumed if all organic matter in 1 liter of water were oxidized by bacteria. So this BOD is also one of the indicator of pollution. If BOD level is high, then there is a high amount of pollution, polluted water is that. So for this to identify the polluted and non-polluted water, the BOD level identification is one of the crucial one. Then coming to next one, what is the what does happens here after flocks are formed? Settling the effluent is transferred to settling tank. Okay, the flocks sediment there. Flocks எல்லாம் அடியில sediment ஆயிடும். Then now the sedimented effluent, that is the flock sedimented effluent, now it is called as the activated sludge. To this activated sludge, anaerobic organisms are added. So in the sludge digester, so these anaerobic organisms digest the aerobic growth, the aerobic colonies, that is the flocks, and what happens there, that produces a mixture of gases will be released as a result of their metabolism. So say for example, what are the gases released in the sense methane, hydrogen sulfide, and carbon dioxide. So methane is the very primary, one of the primary gases released in the sludge digester, sludge digestion step. Okay. These biogases, that is these gases, mixture of gases are collected in one another outlet, and the effluent is released into the, that is now this effluent is called as a treated effluent. Okay, treated effluent is released into the water bodies. So Ministry of Environment and Forest has introduced two plants for treatment of sewage before letting them into the rivers. What are the GAP and YAP? That is Ganga Action Plan and Yamuna Action Plan. Okay, so this is the sewage treatment. Microbes in use for that is the applications of microbes in sewage treatment. So sewage treatment la pathomna, sewage is nothing but the municipal waste water. So this wastewater contains most amount of human excreta. This is subjected to primary and secondary treatment before it is letting into the outer space, that is in outer water bodies. So what are the things happening here? Primary treatment, the physical removal of particles through filtration. The floating things are removed, and in the case of sedimentation, the grit, that is the soil and pebbles, are removed. Now the super and the liquid that is acquired is called as the effluent. This effluent is subjected to secondary treatment. Secondary treatment through various processes, like first it is transferred into the passed into the large aeration tank with air is pumped here. So due to this, flocks are formed. Flocks are nothing but the mass of bacterial colonies and fungal filaments to form mesh-like structure. So this eventually decreases the BOD of effluent. So if more BOD, more pollution is there. Is higher the BOD, it is directly proportional to the pollution. அதிகமா BOD இருந்துச்சுன்னா பொல்யூஷன் அங்கே அதிகமா இருக்குதுன்னு அர்த்தம். கம்மியா BOD இருந்துச்சுன்னா அங்கே பொல்யூஷன் கம்மியா இருக்கு அப்படின்ட்டு அர்த்தம். ஸோ இது என்ன ஆகுதுனாக்கா BOD லெவல் வந்து இங்க கம்மியாகுது. ஸோ இப்போ என்ன நெக்ஸ்ட் நாம என்ன பண்றோம்னாக்கா அது செட்டிலிங் டேங்க்குக்கு நாம டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் பண்றோம் இந்த ஃபிளாக் ஃபார்ம் ஆன எஃப்ளூயன்ட்டை. ஸோ இந்த செட்டிலிங் டேங்க்ஸ்ல வந்து now it is called as activated sludge. This effluent is now named as activated sludge. This sludge is treated with anaerobic bacteria for sludge digestion. So what happens here? The flocks are digested. Flocks are nothing but the bacterial and fungal colonies. These anaerobic organisms digest the bacterial and the fungal colonies, and they form the mixture of gases as a result of the end of their metabolism. So what are the mixture of gases? What are the main three gases formed here? Methane, hydrogen sulfide, and carbon dioxide. From another one outlet, the effluent, this treated effluent is let out into the water bodies. So for this treatment of sewage, the Ministry of Environment and Forest has initiated two plans, Ganga and Yamuna Action Plans. Ganga Action Plan and Yamuna Action Plan. Okay, so treated sewage is after this it is let into the rivers. Then coming to the next application of microorganisms in the production of biogas. So what is this biogas? Biogas, it is a mixture of gases. So it is used as a fuel mainly in village sites. So biogas is nothing but it is also called as gobar gas. Okay, so these are all formed. That is the cow dung is very rich in this methane. So it is used as it is used for the formation of biogas. How this how this cow dung is formed. So anaerobic bacteria, that is example is methanobacterium. It is a methanogen. In the case of what to say? In the case of archaebacteria, in classification of that is 5 kingdom classification la Monera la archaebacteria la one of the types வந்து மெத்தனோ that is மெத்தனோஜென்ஸ்ல மெத்தனோபாக்டீரியம் பார்த்துருப்போம். So in the case of methanobacterium is an example for methanogens. So it is present in the rumen, that is stomach. In the case of stomach is named as a rumen in the case of cattle. So it is present in the rumen of cattle. So it digests the cellulose of because the cattle are herbivorous. They eat only the plants. So plants or cell wall is made up of mainly cellulose, semicellulose, pectin, lignin, and all that will be there. So main thing is the cellulose is present in higher amount. So this cellulose is digested by the methanobacterium present, that is a methanogen. So after that, this is the substrate for the growth of this methanobacterium. So after consuming the cellulose, what happens here? The methane, as a byproduct, methane is produced, and also carbon dioxide and hydrogen are released by this microbe. So this is present in the this comes out in the cow dung. Okay, so the cow dung is rich in methane. So how it is used? How it is used? For what purpose it is used? Biogas, cooking and lighting purposes it is used. So in order to produce in large amounts, what is the steps used here? We can see now. In the concrete tank, 10 to 15 feet deep, bio waste is collected and slurry of dung is added. Slurry in the sense a layer. Okay, not that is semi-solid like that. Slurry of cow dung is added. It acts as a starter. Okay. Now what we are doing now, on that floating cover is placed over it, over the slurry. So what happens here, when the gas is produced, it rises. இது வந்து ரைஸ் ஆகும். இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பேரல் மாதிரி இருக்கும். ஸோ அது வந்து இப்படி வச்சு அந்த ஸ்லரிக்கு மேலே வச்சிடுவாங்க. அப்படி ஆகும்போது மெட்டபாலிசம் ஆகும்போது அந்த மீத்தேன் ப்ரொடியூஸ் ஆக ஆக, அந்த கேஸஸ் ப்ரொடியூஸ் ஆக ஆக அந்த ஃப்ளோட்டிங் கவர் வந்து கொஞ்சம் ரைஸ் ஆகும். ஸோ அந்த ஃப்ளோட்டிங் கவரில் அவுட்லெட் பைப் வந்து ஆட் பண்ணி கனெக்ட் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க. So on the outlet pipe, gas that is produced, that is the methane gas that is produced, is goes through that outlet pipes and they are connected to the houses. So what is the fate of this slurry? The remaining slurry is used as a fertilizer, bio fertilizer. Okay. So this biogas technology was used, that is used by Indian Agricultural Research Institute and Khadi and Village Industries Commission for the production of biogas. Mainly it is used in the villages for cooking purposes and all. Okay, so this is one of the most important applications of microbes so far we have seen. There is the first one is the household products, எப்படி microbes use ஆகுது. Then the industrial level எப்படி microbes use ஆகுது, என்னென்ன products are formed அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம். நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து sewage treatmentக்கு microbes எப்படி யூஸ் ஆகுது. Then now we saw biogas productionக்கு எப்படி microbes வந்து யூஸ் ஆகுதுன்னு. Then coming to microbes in biocontrol agents. Okay, so for biological methods controlling plant diseases and pests. One second. So it is the use of biological methods for controlling plant diseases and plant diseases. Okay. Diseases and pests. பெஸ்ட்ல இருந்தும் டிசீசஸ்ல இருந்தும் பிளான்ஸை வந்து காப்பாத்துறதுக்காக பயோ கண்ட்ரோல் ஏஜென்ட்ஸ், பயாலஜிக்கல் மெத்தட்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்றது தான் பயோ கண்ட்ரோல் ஏஜென்ட்ஸ்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஸோ By use of insecticides and pesticides, we can handle with, that is the chemically we can that is protect the plants from insects and pests with the help of insecticides and pesticides. As there is toxicity and extremely harmful to the nature, that is the environment, and to human beings and those who are consuming those plants. So we are concerned with the use of biological methods, biological control of pests and diseases. Okay, so what is the thing here now? In agriculture, there is a method of controlling pests that relies on natural predation rather than introduction of introduced chemicals. So use of examples in the natural predation, I mean, use of ladybird, beetle, and dragonflies. That is, they affect the and they kill the. They are used in the getting rid of aphids and mosquitoes. If they are introduced into the fields, they eat the aphids and mosquitoes. So this is one of the biocontrol agents. Okay. Another one, microbial biocontrol agents. Main first thing is that Bt cotton. So Bacillus thuringiensis. This Bacillus thuringiensis has a Bt toxin. So this, when it goes into the gut of the caterpillars that eat the leaves of cotton, what happens? This acts as a toxin and this kills the caterpillar. So this is the sporin, S-P-O-R-E-I-N. Sporin is the first bacterial or the bioinsecticide introduced. Okay, so these contain the spores of Bacillus thuringiensis. So when it is sprayed over the field, that is having a field of cotton plants, so it will this will enter into the gut when the caterpillar goes on eating the leaves. So this will enter into the gut of the caterpillar and this will eventually make it die. So for as a result, what happens? The pest, that is the insects that feed on the plants, they will the number of this pest will be decreased and the plants will grow healthily. Then trichoderma. Trichoderma is a free living fungus in root. So this trichoderma acts as acts as a protective layer. It checks the root pathogens that enter into the plants in which it is living, in which it lives as a it lives as a symbiosis. Then baculovirus. Baculovirus are used as crystals, so it is it has a narrow spectrum towards, it kills insects and arthropods that infect the plant, infest on the plant. Okay. So this baculoviruses are mainly in the genus nucleopolyhedroviruses. So when this baculoviruses are used, this has a narrow spectrum on insecticidal action on the insects and some of the arthropods. So how they for these reasons, there is this biocontrol agents. Agents are nothing but the microbes. So biocontrol activity of these microbes, due to this activity, these microbes should be maintained. Their cultures should be maintained, and for this, integrated pest management program is there. So for what? Not to aid the conservation of the, especially that is a desirable when beneficial insects are being conserved. Conserved in the sense maintained. They are retained. Their culture is maintained without any exit. They do their existence should be there. So அதை வந்து அழியாம அதோட கல்ச்சர் வந்து மெயின்டைன் பண்றதுக்காக integrated pest management programs இருக்குது. ஓகேவா? For these insect beneficial biocontrol agents. Okay. Then the next thing is the microbes as biofertilizers. ஸோ இன்செக்டிசைட்ஸ்னா பூச்சிக்கொல்லி மருந்து. அதே வந்து ஃபெர்டிலைசர்ஸ் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம்னா it increases the quality of soil and nutrients present in the soil. So nowadays, organic farming is mostly important, isn't it? Without using any chemicals, this is the natural way of growing the plants, organic farming. So for this type of farming, mainly we use biofertilizers. Nowadays, it is used not only here, but it is widely used here. 1 second. Sarah, you go there. You go to that. You go to that room. Jama, Jama. The use of biofertilizers nowadays it is used widely because in order to avoid pollution to the environment, and also it these chemicals that are used as fertilizers are very harmful to the health of the consumers. What are the sources of biofertilizers? From where we get these biofertilizers? The name itself says that bio. So from living things only we get these fertilizers, isn't it? So what are the living things? Mainly 3 living things are used for the production of biofertilizers: bacteria, fungi, and cyanobacteria. So which bacteria is used? Coming to the first one, bacteria, which bacteria is acts as a biofertilizer in the sense that is used as a biofertilizer in the symbiotic living rhizobium. So this rhizobium bacteria lives in the root nodules of leguminous plants, that is the groundnut, and it forms that is root nodules. So it makes makes the atmospheric nitrogen convert into organic form and makes it easily available to the plants for their growth and development. ஸோ அட்மாஸ்பியரில் இருக்கிற நைட்ரஜனை வந்து அப்படியே வந்து அந்த பிளான்ட் வந்து எடுத்துக்க முடியாது. அதுக்காக மோனிஃபிகேஷன், நைட்ரிஃபிகேஷன் எல்லாம் அந்த ப்ராசஸ் எல்லாம் nitrate reductase with the help of nitrate reduction importance. So for the formation of proteins and amino acids, this nitrogen is very useful. So it converts in atmospheric nitrogen into organic form. So the organic form convert ஆயிருக்கிற அந்த நைட்ரஜனை பிளான்ட் யூஸ் பண்ணி தன்னுடைய பில்டிங் பிளாக்ஸ் ஆஃப் அன் ஆர்கானிசம் அந்த ப்ரோட்டீன்ஸை வந்து தயார் பண்ணிக்கும். ஸோ ப்ரோட்டீன்ஸ் தயார் பண்ணுறதே வந்து ஃபார் த growth and development of any organism. Like this, plants also use this. So another examples for some examples for biofertilizers by microorganisms, that is bacteria that are used as biofertilizers. Those are free living. Rhizobium is the symbiotic one. Symbiotic in the sense it lives with the leguminous plants in the root nodules. But this azospirillum and azotobacter and all live freely in the soil, and they increase the nitrogen nutrient, that is in nitrogen quantity, nitrogen fixation, that is atmospheric nitrogen, and it fixes. The same thing it also does as in the case of rhizobium. So what happens ultimately, this nitrogen is easily got by the plant for their growth and development. The next one is the fungi. So this fungi, which fungi is used here in the case as a biofertilizer? Glomus species is used. So here this fungi acts, that is here also this fungi lives as a symbiosis, in symbiosis association with plants. So this association is called as mycorrhiza. Okay, So this the fungi symbiotic association with plants is called as mycorrhiza. So mainly the genus Glomus forms the mycorrhiza. So it is associated with the root of the plant. So fungi where this glomus lives in the root of the plant. So what happens here? What does it do? In the case of rhizobium, nitrogen was made available, easily available to the plant. In the case of fungi, this Glomus mycorrhiza, uh, first we shall see that is there is ecto and endomycorrhiza are there. If they are present on the root has itself, out that is outer the epidermal layers only the fungus is attached now. That is ectomycorrhiza. If the fungus penetrates into the cortical cells of the roots now, it is called as the endomycorrhiza. Endomycorrhiza is the vesicular or vascular mycorrhiza. Okay, so this the ultimate aim of these two ecto and endo mycorrhiza are the absorption of which mineral? Phosphorus, mainly the phosphorus from soil, and it absorbs and gives to the plant through roots. Okay, so what happens here? This overall increase in plant growth occurs after getting this phosphorus. Phosphorus is also one of the main elements, that is macronutrients needed for the plant growth. So after getting this, the plant grows, and there is increase in the growth and development of plant. So not only this, this fungi mycorrhiza does another function also. What is that? It gives the plant to tolerate salinity and drought. But salinity, salinity na அதிகமான உப்பு தன்மை, and drought in the sense water கம்மியா இருக்கிற டைம், ஓகேவா, வித்தவுட் வாட்டர். ஸோ அந்த டைம்லயுமே வந்து பிளான்ட் வளர்றதுக்காக அந்த 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 கண்டிஷன்ஸை வித்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணதுக்காக இந்த மைக்ரோரைசா ஹெல்ப் ஆகுது. அண்ட் ஆல்சோ ரெசிஸ்டன்ட் டு ரூட் பார்ன் பேத்தோஜன்ஸ். ரூட் மூலமா அந்த பிளான்ட்டை, எக்ஸாம்பிள் வந்து ஆர்ச்சிட்ஸ், ஓகேவா, அந்த பிளான்ட்ஸை வந்து தாக்குற அந்த பேத்தோஜன்ஸை வந்து செக்ல வைக்குது இந்த மைக்ரோரைசா. ஓகே, ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria is also, it comes under Monera classification. It is also a bacteria only, but due to the presence of photosynthetic pigments, chlorophyll A, B and xanthophylls, what happens here? It produces its own food, and also it is called as the blue-green algae. It is named as blue-green algae. So it fixes atmospheric nitrogen. Same thing, same function here also in the case of, we saw in the case of rhizobium. This cyanobacteria also helps the plant. How it helps the plant? It fixes the atmospheric nitrogen. Examples for some of the cyanobacteria that are useful, that are used as biofertilizers for atmospheric nitrogen fixation are Anabaena, Nostoc, Oscillatoria. How this is possible? This nitrogen fixation is possible with the help, with the presence of heterocysts in between the vegetative cells in the cyanobacterial structure. So importantly, that is the biofertilizers. These type of biofertilizers are used mainly in paddy fields. So it increases soil fertility, and also the nitrogen atmospheric nitrogen into organic form. So eventually the paddy fields are flourishing like anything in the when we use these biofertilizers. Okay, so these fertilizers, what is the aim of these biofertilizers? They are that is to reduce the dependence on chemical fertilizers. For this, these microorganisms are very, very useful. So we can have a recap of this chapter. So microbes in human welfare, in the sense, are a very important components of life on Earth, isn't it? So life on Earth, both the harmful and the useful microorganisms are present in this world. In this one, we are seeing how this microbes are useful for human. So what are they? What are the applications here? Microbes in household products, microbes in industrial products, or that is application of microbes in production of industrial products. Then microbes in sewage treatment, microbes in production of biogas, Then how they are used as a biocontrol agents. Then finally the microbes as biofertilizers. So in household products, that is இது மைக்ரோப்ஸால தான் ஆகுது அப்படின்ட்டு நமக்கு தெரியாத போல இருந்தே மைக்ரோப்ஸ் வந்து யூஸ் தான் ஆயிட்டு இருக்கு. So say for example in the case of curd making, then fermentation of batters of idli and dosa, and also the fermentation of bread dough. Baker's yeast is used there. So baker's yeast நாலும் brewer's yeast நாலும் ஒண்ணுதான், Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So next வந்து டாடி. டாடி என்ன, இட் இஸ் த கல் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா. ஸோ அது வந்து fermented sap from plants is due to the action of these microorganisms only. So cheese is also, the flavor of this cheese is enhanced by adding some of the fungi. Okay, in the case of some of fungi, and also in the Swiss cheese, bacteria is used, Propionibacterium shermani, and in the case of Roquefort cheese, fungi is used. So microbes in industrial products, industrial அளவுல அதிகமா தயாரிக்கிற, இப்போ ஆன்டிபயோட்டிக்ஸ் நம்மளுக்கு என்ன மாத்திரை எல்லாம் கிடைக்குது, கெமிக்கல்ஸ் எல்லாம் கிடைக்குது, அதுல வந்து அதிக அளவுல தயாரிக்கிறோம்னா இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் அளவுல தான் தயாரிக்கணும், யூசிங் த ஃபெர்மெண்டர்ஸ். ஓகேவா. ஸோ இந்த ஃபெர்மெண்டர்ஸ்ல வந்து beverages, fermented beverages, then antibiotics, chemicals, enzymes and all are produced, manufactured with the help of these microorganisms. So beverages பார்த்தோம்னாக்கா மெயினா எத்தனால். ஸோ இந்த இதுல வந்து பார்த்தோம்னாக்கா வைன் அண்ட் பியர் அண்ட் விஸ்கி, ரம் அண்ட் பிராண்டி. ஸோ இதுக்கு ரெண்டுக்குமே என்ன வித்தியாசம் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம்னா, without distillation the wine and beer are produced, with distillation this rum, whiskey and brandy are produced in order to increase the concentration of alcohol in these products. Okay, then antibiotics. Antibiotics, the first antibiotic to be discovered was penicillin. So following this penicillin, various thousands of, hundreds of thousands of antibiotics have been discovered, and also they are produced industrially. Then chemicals and enzymes in the pattern. Now what are the chemicals in the sense? Again it comes here, ethanol. Ethanol is produced by yeast. There is a Saccharomyces cerevisiae, citric acid, acetic acid, then what is that? Butyric acid, lactic acid and all produced. So various microbes are involved in the production of these various chemicals and also enzyme. So lipase enzyme is also produced industrially. So as it is used in the one of the, there is a detergent, it is incorporated in the detergents so that it removes the oil stains. Pectinase and protease and all used for the making of bottled fruit juices, and also amylase also. Streptokinase enzyme வந்து எதுக்கு யூஸ் ஆகுதுன்னாக்கா, to remove the blood clots from the blood vessels. So streptokinase அதனால அதிக அளவுல ப்ரொடியூஸ் ஆகுது. Trichoderma polysporum. This trichoderma is we have come across this word, trichoderma species. So வந்து பயோகண்ட்ரோல் ஏஜென்ட்ஸ் ஆகவும் நாம பார்த்தோம். அதே வந்து ட்ரைகோடர்மா பாலிஸ்போரம் வந்து இதுல இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் அளவுல என்ன ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணுதுன்னா, immunosuppressant drug is produced. That is the cyclosporine A. It is used in the time of transplantation. Then Monascus purpureus, it is one of the yeast species. Statins is produced. It is a blood cholesterol lowering agent. Then coming to microbes in sewage treatment, without any treatment, without that is decreasing the efficacy of polluted things present in the sewage, if it is let it into the water bodies, now what happens, more and more amount of pollution will be caused and various diseases will be caused. In order to avoid that, wastewater treatment is very essential. Sewage treatment. So அதனால என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா, primary treatment and secondary treatment கொண்டு போறாங்க. So sewage is nothing but the municipal waste water. So இந்த sewage-ல ரொம்ப அதிகமா இருக்கிறது என்ன, human excreta, மனித கழிவுகள். So primary treatment என்ன அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம்னா, physical removal of particles. Secondary treatment வந்து effluent treatment. So physical removal treatment, that is primary treatmentல கிடைக்கிற, from this we get effluent. So அந்த effluent வந்து நம்ம sludge digestion மூலமா, final sludge digestion மூலமா நம்மளுக்கு வந்து treated effluent-ஆ கிடைக்கிறது தான் secondary treatment. So filtration, இதுல primary treatmentல filtration and sedimentation இருக்கும். So after this physical treatment, or removal of particles, what happens? Supernatant will be caught. This supernatant solution, that is the liquid part that is formed, leaving the solid part, is called as a supernatant. This supernatant is called as, here in the case of sewage treatment, is called as effluent. Okay, so in this effluent is passed into aeration tank, aerated tanks. Okay, so air is pumped into these tanks continuously so that it increases the growth of aerobic microbes. So as a result of the growth of microbes, what happens? Flocks will be formed. These flocks are nothing but the mass of bacteria with bacteria colonies, that is bacteria with fungal mycelium. So this eventually decreases the BOD, that is the biological oxygen demand of effluent. Now what happens is flocculated effluent, now it is transferred to the settling tank. Now it is called as the activated sludge. This activated sludge is undergone to sludge digestion with the help of anaerobic bacteria. This last step, and கடைசில தான் anaerobic bacteria. First வந்து aerobic bacteria வந்து கடைசில anaerobic bacteria. So in the anaerobic bacteria, what does it do? It that is, it digests the flocks, and also after its metabolism, at the end of this metabolism, what happens? Methane, hydrogen sulfide, and carbon dioxide gases are produced. These gases are collected, and the effluent, the treated effluent, the remaining treated effluent, என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னாக்கா, it is let out into the water bodies. It is released out. So Ministry of Environment and Forest have initiated, what are the two plans? Ganga Action Plan and Yamuna Action Plan to treat the sewage properly, and also to let it out into the rivers the after treatment. Okay, so microbes in production of biogas. Biogas is also a mixture of gases. Mainly here, methane is present. So it is used as a fuel. For what purpose it is used? Mainly for cooking and lighting. Mainly it is used in the villages. So how it is produced? The mechanism methanogens are the main thing. Methanogens are the bacteria which are anaerobic bacteria, which act that is which eat the substrate cellulose, and they produce the methane and carbon dioxide and hydrogen. Where does it methanogens are present here? Example, Methanobacter is present in cattle rumen. So in the cattle rumen, it takes up the cellulose, and what happens? Finally, it produces the methane. It comes out as a byproduct, waste product out, as in the as a cow dung. Okay, so how this methane is made available to the houses in the villages now, due by biogas plant. Biogas plantல வந்து பார்த்தோம்னா concrete tanks இருக்கும். So 10 to 15 feet deep இருக்கும். பயோ வேஸ்ட் வந்து கலெக்ட் பண்ணி அதில் ஸ்லரி ஆஃப் த டங் இஸ் ஆடட். அதுக்கு மேலே ஒரு பேரல் மாதிரி ஒரு ஃப்ளோட்டிங் கவர் வைக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ இந்த ஃப்ளோட்டிங் கவர் வில் பி ரைசிங் வென் எவர் த கேஸஸ் ஆர் ஃபார்ம் ப்ரொடியூஸ்ட். ஸோ திஸ் த்ரூ த அவுட்லெட், அந்த ஃப்ளோட்டிங் கவருக்கு மேலே வந்து ஒரு அவுட்லெட் பைப்ஸ் இருக்கும். ஸோ அது மூலமாக கேஸஸ் ஆர் கலெக்டட், அண்ட் ஆல்சோ தே ஆர் டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட்டட் த்ரூ அவுட் த பைப்லைன்ஸ் இன் த த்ரூ ஆல் த ஹவுசஸ் இன் த வில்லேஜ். ஸோ ரிமைனிங் ஸ்லரியை என்ன பண்ணுறதுன்னு பார்த்தோம்னா ஃபர்டிலைசராக யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ திஸ் பயோகேஸ் டெக்னாலஜி வந்து மெயின்லி initiated by IARI, that is Indian Agriculture Research Institute, and the Khadi and Village Industries Commission. Then coming to next application, microbes as biocontrol agents. So for biocontrol agents are enna, the biological methods for controlling plant diseases and pests is called as the biocontrol. So here one of the, there is a first one, the example, ladybird beetle and dragonfly beetle and all won't come under microbial microbes as biocontrol, because they are not microbes, they are macrobes. So like that, that is an example. Like that, இந்த மாதிரி லேடிபேர்ட் பீட்டிலும் டிராகன் ஃப்ளை வந்து எப்படி ப்ரெடேஷன் பண்ணுதோ, இந்த மாதிரி வந்து நம்ம மைக்ரோப்ஸையும் வந்து யூஸ் பண்றாங்க அப்படின்ட்டு சொல்றாங்க. ஓகேவா? ஸோ அதுல என்ன மெயினா 3 எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ்னு பார்த்தோம்னாக்கா, பீட்டி காட்டன், தென் ட்ரைகோடர்மா ஃபங்கஸ் இஸ் யூஸ்ட் ஹியர், அண்ட் பெக்குலோ வைரஸ், நியூக்ளியோபாலி ஹெட்ரோவைரஸ். So BT cotton is the that is Bacillus thuringiensis. This what to say? This bacteria is used as a control butterfly caterpillars on cotton plants. Okay, so this using this Bacillus thuringiensis, the first bioinsecticides were produced named as sporin, SPOREINE, sporin. So first bioinsecticide. What does it do? When the caterpillar eats the leaves that are sprayed with this sporin, bioinsecticide, this the Bt toxin enters into the gut of the caterpillar, and it poisons the whole body, and it dies the caterpillar. So that we can check the caterpillar, we can keep the caterpillars in check in order to avoid the diseases in Bt cotton. Then the trichoderma is a free living fungus in root, and so it checks the root borne pathogens. Baculovirus, baculovirus is one of this member of nucleopolyhedroviruses. So it has a narrow spectrum towards its killing to that it kills insects and the arthropods. So these beneficial insects and also the microorganisms should be maintained, that is conserved, through which program? Pest management, that is the insecticide pest management programs. Then finally coming to the biofertilizers. What is the purpose of these biofertilizers? These are the organisms that increase the nutrient quality of soil and fertility of the soil. Okay. So nutrient quality அதிகப்படுத்துறது. இதுல மெயினான மூணு ஸ்பீஷிஸ் இருக்கு, பாக்டீரியா, ஃபங்கை அண்ட் சைனோபாக்டீரியா. That is the blue green alga. பாக்டீரியால பார்த்தோம்னா symbiotic rhizobium ஒரு வகை, free living azoospermillum azotobacter one type, used as a biofertilizer. Rhizobium symbiosis in the sense it lives with the root nodules of leguminous plants, that is the groundnut plants. What happens here? What is the mechanism here? Which nutrient is increased in the here in the case of bacteria, rhizobium and azoospermillum? Nitrogen. It absorbs the atmospheric nitrogen and it is converted to organic form, so that this form is used by the plant for their growth and development easily. Then coming to the next one, fungi. This symbiotic association with plant. This fungi, which fungi? Glomus species. Fungi is lives with the association with plant, mainly in the roots. This association is called as mycorrhiza. It may be ecto or endo. Among this, VAM is very useful. That is VAM, vesicular arbuscular mycorrhiza, which is endomycorrhiza. Okay, so what does the fungi in this mycorrhiza do? It absorbs the minerals, mainly which mineral? Phosphorus mineral. Phosphorus from soil, and it makes it, that is it absorbs and passes it to the plant, so that they will the increase in the growth and development of the plant is seen there. Not only it helps in the growth and development of plant, this mycorrhiza, and also another two important functions are there. It makes the plant to be tolerant to salinity and drought conditions, and also it makes the plant to resistant to root-borne pathogens. It checks the root-borne pathogens in the roots itself, so that they won't affect the plant. Then the next one, cyanobacteria. Last one is cyanobacteria, BGA. It is an autotroph. Though it is a bacteria, because of the presence of chlorophyll pigments, it can produce its own food. That's why it is also called as a algae, blue-green algae. It also fixes atmospheric nitrogen. Nitrogen examples பார்த்தோம்னா Anabaena nostoc and Oscillatoria. Okay, so these biofertilizers, this type of biofertilizers when they increase are used in paddy fields. For what they are, what is ultimate purpose? To increase the nutrient quality of soil, so that the fertility of the soil is also increased, so that the plants will flourish. Okay. So up to this, our today's chapter, microbes in human welfare, is over. My screen is not getting shared. Even though I open in the document, only first page மட்டும் தான் open ஆகுது. So I will try it better in the next time. Okay, students. So thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Hello. Can you understand all of you? Hello, sir. Some technical issues there. So now I got it. I got my notes now. फिर भी है ये हो जाता